Morning, everyone. Welcome to our first webinar session for Purposive Communication. If you can hear me loud and clear, may I see a heart sign from everyone? And we would like to acknowledge as well our primary advisor for this course, Mr. Julius Evan Raimundo, and joining us in a while would be the other advisors or teaching assistants, okay? So quickly, I would like to present to you the details of your teaching assistants or advisors so that you would know to whom to go to or to consult when necessary. So Mr. Pavo, are you seeing the screen share now? Can you nod once? Do you see the screen share? Okay, good. So here, for our maritime students, 247 of you, but this still would be updated later on. Your advisor would be Mr. Rodlan Alvendo. I don't know if he's already here. Mr. Evan, kindly just admit the necessary, the students who are joining. Okay, okay, Mr. Evan, good morning. Is Mr. Rodlan already around? Okay.
I didn't hear.
Okay, so he will join in a while. So all our maritime students, kindly type in the chat box the name of your advisor if you are listening. Thank you. Okay, so again, all maritime students, to whom should you direct your concerns for this class? Type in the chat box, please. On the other hand, Mr. Evan is here, so I think he would be the one to announce right now. Mr. Evan, what's the course you are handling?
Good morning, Sir Virgo, and good day, Purposive. I'll be handling still the BS nursing students because they are familiar with me because they were I was their advisor on understanding the self course, and for this course purposes, I'll be their advisor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ivan. And also for a new advisor for the criminology, our PBS, most of you would be under Mr. Michael Paul Binse, a graduate also of Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. And finally, Mr. Raymar Madrid, let me check the spelling, would be handling the other courses, including the students from RPC and the other students coming from PBS. And yeah, those students, okay? So may I see a thumbs up from everyone if we're clear with your advisors. Please take a look at their names and they will be the specific people or persons that we have to talk to in case there will be concern for the course. All right, apart from this, I would like to reinforce the perennial concern on your photos, all right, for your official accounts at Pan Pacific University. So may you just read and reiterate the following guidelines for display photos on Pan Pacific U account, including your Zoom accounts. All right, so to change your display photos, you have to follow the following. Number one, use a recent photo. So we don't want to see like when you were babies, for example, though they're cute, but for us to acknowledge you and for us to remember, of course, your faces, you should have your recent photo. And then it would be better if you wear your uniform and with your ID. Like right now, I'm seeing Mr. Pavo with his camera on, then that will be a good photo already to be used. And of course, use a plain background. Number two, make sure that the picture taken is a standard close-up shot and head until shoulder level with a full face view directly facing the camera. Number three, have a pleasant facial expression. If you don't want to smile, then at least you might have a good disposition when you have your photos. Well, look at Mr. Pavo right now. He's really the model. Let's just try to spotlight Mr. Pavo. So it should look like this, okay? With the haircut, yeah, with the uniform and with the ID. Let's give Mr. Pavo a virtual clap for following the guidelines for our classes. Very good, Iho. All right, so let's move on. Number four, have your picture taken in good quality because of course this will be your photo for the rest of the term or for the rest of the school year. Blurry or pixelated pictures will make it difficult for everyone to recognize you. And finally, cartoon or anime characters, logos, and others are strictly prohibited as mentioned, just plain background. So For the advisors who are here, kindly check our students, all right, when it comes to their photos. I'm seeing Mr. Dakayanan, Hinong Darren, Farah Ruli, masyadong malayo ito, nasa beach. So I hope these guidelines would be implemented and will be followed. Okay. Finally, on behalf of RPC, let me take this chance because this is anyway purposive communication has something to do with English. We are inviting our Romeo Padilla School of Education and Arts to sign up or to join our pioneer publication. So yes, you heard that right. The Romeo Padilla School of Education and Arts will be having its school publication beginning this term. That the name is The Pioneer. So for all interested education students, psychology students from RPC, you can sign up. You just have to visit later on the official post of this poster on our Facebook page. So I hope you can join and share your linguistic intelligence in writing articles for this publication. So without much ado, it's 9:56 in the morning. We are still to admit the other participants because it's supposed to be 800 in this class, but joining right now, there are only 300 students. So we would like you to message your classmates who are ready to join. Okay? You may share the link. Yung mga natutulog pa o yung mga hindi pa handa sa klaseng ito, you might want to help them to be prepared and join the class because you wouldn't miss, of course, the session for today. Quickly, let's use the chat box and I would like to know, what was the given asynchronous task by your advisors last week? Maybe see if you remember. Infograph, okay. About what? About what topic? Sige. I'm seeing Kimberly Mundala right now from the School of Health Sciences, who's so into, hi, good morning. I can see your smiles and your dimples. I hope you are having a good time in attending the class. I'm seeing also Jericho Rivera. All right, para hindi po si Mr. Pabong nakikita natin. Sige. Okay, so infographic about the different contexts of communication. O, sige nga, kung talaga nakapagbasa kayo. When we say communication, what is its simplest meaning or definition? Come on. So when we talk about communication, what's the simplest definition? One-on-one conversation. Good, an exchange of information. There's message, there's the sharing of ideas, there's interaction. Good. Okay, to convey, and a lot more. Okay, so right now we are joined by Mr. Rodlan. Good morning, Mr. Rodlan.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody.
Right.
I am Rodlan Alvendo, and I will be handling BS MT for this course or this subject.
Yeah, Mr. Rodlan, probably you could go the other way around so that your face would be seen clearly because you're against the light. Thank you. Okay, we're still waiting for the two advisors to join us. So a minute to go before our much awaited session for today. Now, tell us, what is your expectation for the webinar? Because today we'll be talking about the first two modules, modules 2 and 3, about local and global communication in multicultural settings. Ano ang inaasahan ng mga estudyanteng matututunan ngayong araw? So, a dynamic interaction. What else? Come on, keep your ideas coming or your expectations for today. It's more on reporting, essays, reflections. With the big class that we have, I don't think we could have reporting. Or probably we could have recorded ones. Elements of communication. What else? All right, and finally, it's 10 a.m. in the morning. So, you know, with future professionals, we have to start on time, okay? So I think our speaker is already with us today. Okay, So may we ask first someone to lead the opening prayer? Any volunteer? Okay, can we have Miss Nika May de la Cruz of PBS? Hello, Iha, can you lead the prayer? Can you unmute? You don't have mic. Can you talk? Okay. Sige, dahil dyan, can we have Mr. Pavo instead? Mr. Pavo, please lead the prayer. Go on.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Thank you, Mr. Pavo. All right. So without much ado, may I introduce to you our speaker for this morning. All right. May we ask her to, yeah, there you go. Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce you my friend, okay, and my boss at the same time. So here we go for a while. So to talk about purposive communication, may I introduce to you Ms. Misty T. Dagyapen. Misty has been teaching English as a second language to students of other languages for 9 years now. She had taught various levels of learners and even trained teachers on how to teach foreign learners effectively utilizing the digital tools of today. She specializes in Cambridge exams such as KET, PET, FCE, CAE, IELTS, and TOEFL. She had taken a Chinese language and literature program at Beijing Foreign Studies University in China from 2018 until 2020 under the Chinese government scholarship, which by then the only Filipino to be offered such scholarship opportunity. This one in a million opportunity helped her expand her social circle, meeting people of different languages, cultures, and nationalities. Last December 2020, she solely started Cup of English, a startup and proudly Filipino-owned online tutorial services with a vision to facilitate culture exchange and bridging culture gaps between and among its 21 or 21st century learners and introduce teaching that goes hand in hand with culture sharing and multicultural consciousness. At the moment, the online tutorial she established offers a variety of tutoring services for its diverse learners with a growing selection of language training classes consist of beginner, intermediate, and higher level courses with lessons including but not limited to academic writing, business English, daily English, debate and public speaking, national geographic learning or Cengage, and young learners English. To top it off, it also offers language editing, proofreading, and research advising. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend and my boss, the founder and owner of Cup of English Philippines, Ms. Misty Dagyapen. Good morning, Ms. Misty.
Good morning, Sir Virgo, and good morning, everyone. Yes, my name is Misty, and I'm living in Baguio right now. So, good morning, Pan Pacific students. Are you still alive? Do you have energy to listen for an hour lecture for today? Or, well, you're still sleepy because you were forced to attend this lecture? Which is which? Okay, I can see there are lots of people. Sir Virgo informed me there would be like 800 people in here. Are they all in, Sir Virgo?
We're still waiting for the rest, but right now we are 500, Ms. Misty.
All right. Okay, thank you for that reference. And I would like to say good morning, greet the Pan Pacific teachers and advisors of these students. So I hope that from this lecture, we all can have takeaways. I expect that there would be an active participation from each other. It doesn't matter, you're a teacher, you're a student, you're a dean, right? So I hope if you think that there's something you would like to share on my slide, please feel free to unmute your what do you call this, microphone, and then share it. So it's open communication. After all, we're talking of communication. The topic is communication. So I'm not limiting you out to just listen. I'm encouraging you to take part on active participation. All right. So I would like to share. Let me see. Let me share my screen. Okay, here we go. Oh, by the way, could you guys hear me clearly? Am I loud and clear on the line? Could you please give me a thumbs up if you could? If you could hear me loud and clear? Oh, yes. Okay. Good morning, ma'am. All right. Good, good. Okay. So for today's topic, I would like to focus more on uh, communication, of course, communication and globalization. Sir Virgo asked a while ago whether someone who knows about communication, someone who knows what is communication. It is a general word that we, I think, understand its meaning, right? So now, why do we need to learn communication if we already know that this is about effective communication, this is about interacting with people? I saw a while ago someone said it's interacting with people through their mobile phone, right? So why do we need to still learn this if we already know that, oh, that's the meaning? Well, it's because mm, it encourages us, or it would help us to be an effective communicator later on. So I know that you are freshmen. I believe that maybe some of you guys are still shy to communicate with their teachers, right? Maybe the teacher sent a message. Actually, they have questions, but because they are shy to ask follow-up questions, maybe because their communication skill is not that effective enough, it's not enhanced yet, then yeah, it affects maybe their understanding or their way of expressing with their teacher. Say, for example, your Pan Pacific teachers. So now in this lecture, I would like to focus more on the practical side of communication, on how to be an effective communicator, considering the multicultural scenario. Yes. Now, let's take first an understanding of communication. Well, in a national or a global environment, our ability to communicate effectively can be a challenge. We all know that, right? Isn't it that even when we speak the same language, there can still be a misunderstanding? Why? Because of perhaps ethnic and cultural differences, right? Now, how to avoid those challenges, or how to maybe overcome those challenges? So later, I would share some tips based on experience, I think. So I would go more on my experience. So yeah, and well, communication is necessary for us to express ourselves and, of course, fulfill our basic needs, right? Especially for you guys as a student. Like what I said, later on, you will be communicating more with your teachers. And how can you express what you really wanted, right? Is your message being communicated effectively? Clear? Is it clear? Is it coherent? Yes. So, how to know that later? I think while I'm talking my topic, I believe you will have your own reflections whether you are doing the right thing or not. Now, without our ability to communicate and understand each other, there would be chaos for sure. So, communication that is based on cultural understanding is more suitable to prevent misunderstanding caused by personal biases and prejudices. Now, as a Philippine based startup business dealing with Chinese students and parents who have, of course, different culture background, and someone who studied and stayed in China for 2 years, immersed in an environment with like students from over 150 countries, of course, communication becomes so difficult, especially during my maybe second or third month in China. Third month, it feels like it's so difficult sometimes to be with this group of people wherein we do have different opinions on this topic. We have different beliefs and different practices. But with time, I think I was able to overcome it. So I believe maybe if you are struggling with your communication skill right now, for sure, I believe with time you can also improve that. And when is the time to improve or start improving it? this is the time. Like what I said, I encourage active participation. Don't be shy, right? Although again, like what I said, you are forced to attend this lecture. Take part. Yes, I don't know if among the 500, maybe only 10 is interested or excited for this. I'm not sure. But I hope that at the end of this lecture, all of you will have takeaways. So it doesn't matter you are forced or not. Okay. So now when we say communication, well, it is divided on yeah, we already know it's the transfer of information, but I would like to focus more on the local and global. Now, when we say a local communication, it is more of the uh oh, here we go. It's like my slide is going slow. All right, so when we say local communication, it is the way we communicate locally with the members of our local area using our mother tongue and the common language that we use. Say, for example, whenever I hang out with my friends, you can see the photo there. Can you spot Dean Virgo there? Right. So whenever I hang out with them, uh, we would use mixed language. Actually, it could be the dialect, the Ilocano, the Tagalog, or if someone is Ibaloy, then sometimes we would also use that. But more likely, we mix the language. But whatever language that you are using, the most important thing is that you are expressing it in a way that you are not maybe offending the other person, right? Because even in the Philippines, we have different dialects, but maybe for when you use this word in Tagalog, maybe it is kind of offending for the Kankanai one. So be sensitive, right? When we are using the, be sensitive of the words that we are using. Mm. How about global communication? So global communication, according to Hamiling 2014, she defined this as international communication. It is also world communication, transborder communication. So she claimed that this is the same meaning. Of course, there are also scholars wherein they disputed the definition. Of course, transborder could be different from global communication. Some scholars disputed that, but I'm not going to talk who are those scholars. It would take time to search who are those scholars. So let's just say I chose this because I wanted you to understand it in its simplest form, that global communication is, this is international communication. This is world communication. All right. Oh yeah. So you can see this photo is an activity arranged by our university 2 years ago. So as you could see, these foreigners are from like different countries, I think over 150 countries. So each country has its own representative. So I think at the time I was the only Filipino. Yes. So sometimes when you are in a group like this, right, you cannot just be quiet and stay in the corner, right? You need to communicate, and you need to like learn from them, learn from each other, right? So if you are shy, if you don't have confidence on your communication skill, how can how can you pace up with these people, for example, if you are put in this group? Yes. So yeah, that is global communication. Mm, well, in today's lecture, I would like to focus more on imparting how to communicate effectively, regardless of who we are talking to, where the person we are talking to, is it in the Philippines, is it outside the Philippines? And I focus more on this is because I know for sure later after your university, you will go for work, you will find your own career path, right? So if you will be graduating from Pan Pacific University, you're finding a job, let's say Cup of English, and you're applying for Cup of English, and you don't even know how to express yourself confidently, how can Cup of English hire you, for example, right? So yeah, I found out actually during your internship. So that's also another reason why I would like to talk about the 7Cs, because during the internship, most of this 20 students interns, I think like most of them were very shy, so I believe that and they're already fourth year, third year, imagine. So that's why I asked another student from Pan Pacific University, so can you tell me like usually young people now, how's their attitude or this and that? So I got an idea. So I hope that yes, we can develop our communication skill not only by talking to our friends, but the environment that we are in. Okay, because anyway, it will be useful. Like what I said, very useful for your future later on. Yes. All right. Let's talk with the first C. we have it here, clear. Communicate clearly. What does it mean? Make sure that when you're expressing yourself, it is simple and organized. Do you do that? Do you do that with your teachers? Your advisors will know. Yes. Do you think advisors, your students here right now, most of them communicate clearly when they are talking with you or they are communicating with you? I only can see, I believe Sir Julius Ivan Raimundo. Yeah. Sir, do you think your students communicate clearly right now? Or let's say whenever they do have some activities they need to, communicate with you, are they doing it clearly?
Some of them hesitate because in terms of communication, but when they express themselves in Tagalog or in English, some of them are just correct. They're just hesitating on how to communicate with us teachers. That's why
Oh, so
some of them are very shy and interactive, but they have ideas in
exactly.
their minds.
Yeah, they just need to be honed, right?
Yes.
So they have the ability to communicate, of course. It's just that they are very shy. Perhaps Pan Pacific University should offer more, activities that would promote their communication skills, right? Or their advisors. Right. So now, why do we need to communicate clearly? Of course, to avoid misunderstanding. Yes. Say, for example, okay, I have an example in here. Practice social distancing. We see this everywhere nowadays, right? So I only can see BSE1, major in mathematics. Who is this? The one pinned in on the screen. So okay, unmuted. All right. Do you think, sir, that practice social distancing, is this a clear message in here? Tell me your thoughts. Be confident. I'm sorry, but Sir Virgo, could you help me name the student?
It's Nico, Mr. Nico
Mr.
Pablo.
Nico. All right. Okay, Sir Nico, go. Do you think practice social distancing, this message, is clearly communicated in here? Yes or no? Quickly.
For me, no.
No. Why not? One sentence or 2 words. Why not? Could somebody help him on the chat box? Let's read that. But the teacher, Sir Nico, think of your reason why. Yes, it's clear, but other people don't obey it. Okay, all right. Yes. So it is not clearly communicated. What is the reason? Is because it is general information. Perhaps for a common person, what is social distancing? Perhaps they don't know, right? So make sure that when we are giving a message or giving information, it is clear. If there is new term that you are using, make sure that you are simplifying it. Yes. It is also not specific. So how could we improve that? We're not saying this message is wrong. It's just that maybe it is general, but we could improve it to make it more specific. Say, for example, stay at home, right? When you go out, wear mask, for example. Get groceries once per week, according to this example. So use only known words, especially when you're communicating with the public. Be clear, be specific, be coherent. Avoid using jargon words. Okay, so who is that? Lizelme, all right. Language of space. Okay, language of space. Language of space. All right. Okay, so again, like what I said, we have to be clear so the reader or the person that we are talking to has the information they need to take action. Okay, another example here. Make your of course, make your objective clear. Avoid complex words and phrases. Now we have an example. It's a message between Sir Virgo and I. So when he was inviting me to take part in this lecture, so he sent me a message. Actually, it's very long. So do you think his message is clearly delivered? Who could answer that? Let me see the chat box. Okay, Lizelle May. Lizelle May, okay, Lizelle, do you think that this message from Sir Virgo is clearly communicated? Neil Lewis. All right. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Why? Why do you think that this is clearly communicated? Oh, we know yes, but sometimes it's hard to explain the why, right? Practice the why.
Ms. Misty, someone raised the hand, Mr. Karahay.
Go on, please. What's the reason it is clearly communicated? Is he talking?
Not yet. Mr. Mark, please, you may now unmute.
Yes, ma'am, it is clear because Dr. Virgo stated his intentions
Mm-hmm.
for you to fund the event, ma'am.
The details of the event, right? Yes, he definitely delivered his message clearly. The problem is on me now. So I asked him, Kailan? I asked him. Actually, when I woke up, I read a message. I just woke up, and then perhaps my mind is still unclear. And then he sent a very detailed message, and then I would still ask Kailan, and then I went back to the message. Oh, it's already there, right? So shame on me, right? So sometimes, actually, why do we need to communicate clearly? Like what I said a while ago, right? At least it would help us not to maybe put difficulties on the other person receiving the message. So we don't need them to like, what do you mean, right? Yes, it's very detailed. Okay, I'm reading the chat box. Next, what is the second one? Concise communication. What does it mean, concise communication? Go straight to your point. Avoid lots of link words that are covering your message or like fillers. Well, yeah, like and so on, right? Well, we do have that habit. Sometimes I also do have that, like, well, we do have that, right? That's why we are a work in progress. We are continuously improving that. Sugar coating, all right. Garcia, okay, right. So how like what I said, how do we improve that? Get straight to your point. So let's see. What do I have here as an example? Oh, yeah. Stick to the point and keep it brief. Avoid fillers. Well, fillers, we can use that in academic writing, especially when you write your essay, when you write your report. But in speaking, like sometimes we don't need that, right? So we have the examples in there. Now, why we need to communicate concisely? Because we wanted to avoid using excessive and unnecessary words. All right. Brief message, correct. Yes. Another one, concrete. The third C, be concrete. What does it mean? Be specific. You see, it's almost related to like being clear, right? Being coherent. Be specific instead of generalizations. Let's call on people, or you can raise your hand. I think that is more convenient. Okay, so do you think that this example presented in here is an example of a concrete message? Raise your hand, guys. Again, active party. Who is this? De Jesus. All right, go on.
Uh,
Uh,
Miss, for me, no.
why not?
Uh, Not only that it's very vague,
Mm-hmm.
the way he formed the letter is also wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like you mean the paragraph, right? Is that the structuring of the sentence or what?
Yes, the structuring of the sentence is wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
It's a very vague.
It's a vague
Questionable.
message. Mm-hmm. You don't even understand what is the purpose of this message, right?
Yes.
Is it just to meet? So how could we improve that? Thank you, sir. So how can we improve that? Like what we said, be specific with your message. Make sure the purpose, the details of the information that you wanted to be expressed will be in one message, will be clear in one paragraph, if so, right? Concrete. Why? Why do we need to communicate in a concrete manner? When your message is concrete, then your audience has a clear picture of what you're telling them. All right, yeah, of course. And it makes understanding easier, isn't it? You don't need to read it second time. You don't need to read it third time just to understand the message. In one go, you're getting the idea. Yes. So you must have a complete clarity of your thoughts, your ideas, of what you are trying to express. What's next? Oh yeah, so this is an example. This example, how do we like vague message? Sir, the sir a while ago mentioned it's a vague information. Now, how can we improve a vague information? Provide details, provide facts. Yes, so say this example. Students' English scores are higher. Are higher. Higher is the key word that this is a vague information. So when you say higher, provide numbers, maybe average of what, right? So at least we have a clearer picture of what you are trying to express. Okay, next up, correct communication. Correct communication. When we say correct communication, well, it is related to the facts that we are expressing or whether we proofread the message we are delivering. Okay, who could tell me if this photos here, the chat box that I have screenshotted, is an example of a correct message? Please raise your virtual hand. Okay, Castaneda, go on.
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because the sentence is composed of many many.
What is the problem with the content of the message, the chat box?
The message, ma'am, was composed of many periods and not.
Like typos, right? Typographical errors. Yes, exactly. Right. So what else? He used a lot of periods. Okay. Improper usage of punctuations. Correct. Right. So that's the problem in here. Well, maybe we think, it's okay. He's just my friend. She's just my friend. I don't need to pay attention on the way I, type my message. No. Practice typing correctly. It doesn't matter you're just an English major. Let's use this chat box to type correctly, right? When you're sending a message, you're typing message in there. Okay, utilize this chat box to practice it. Yes, it can also improve actually our credibility. So you see, when you see this kind of message, would you be excited to respond, to reply, right? Not really. Yes. Composed with many punctuations. All right. So yeah, not only lack of details, but the main point here is like the message, that the typing basically. Actually nowadays, because we choose convenience, right? We type without paying attention on the spelling. Sometimes we deliberately misspell words just for our convenience because we think like, oh, I have to type that so long, right? So I just go with shortcut. No, make sure that everything is clearly understood. Like sometimes when I'm receiving messages from friends, like, what does he mean by this? They use abbreviations that I've never seen or I've never heard of. So be sensitive on that. Or jeje words. Perhaps that's what you call jeje words. I'm not sure. Okay, next. Oh yeah. So how do we improve our correct communication skill? Of course, make sure error-free communication. Yes, try to avoid typos. Use the right level of language with the person that you are talking to. Again, grammar, especially simple grammar rules. Example, she don't know anything about the issue. Simple tenses, right? She doesn't know anything about the issue. We're not saying that I didn't really learn grammar seriously when I was a student, but still, right? Try to use your resources. Like what I always say, I've mentioned this with the interns, the Pan Pacific interns before. Well, we have to use our resources to improve our skills, our communication skills, not only our communication skills, but our knowledge, right? What is the next one? Coherent communication. When we say coherent communication, it means there should be a logical bridge between words, sentences, and your paragraphs. Okay, who would tell whether this photo is an example of a coherent sentence? Go, Lizelle, let's hear from is Lizelle a student? Student Lizelle, okay, go on. I could see that you're very active on the chat box. Okay, do you think that this is an example of a coherent communication?
Lizelle, you can unmute now.
Sarah likes to jump, running, and skate. What do you think?
Okay, still cannot
Oh.
unmute.
All right. So who would want to raise their virtual hand? Go on, quickly. Oh, it's still the Jesus. Which major are you in?
Operations management, ma'am.
Ah, all right. Go on.
It's not coherent because one of them, the running verb, it's a verb, like
Jump
it's
is
not,
also a verb.
but how do I explain? The running word is in present tense while the others are not, so it doesn't really make sense if they are put in a sentence together, not being in the same tense.
Basically, in here is like they are all verbs, exactly. To jump, to plus verb. Yeah, the verb one. Running, run. Yes, run is the base form of running. Parallelism is not observed, according to Dean Virgo. Okay, and yeah, exactly. Running is a gerund in here, right? Dean Virgo, go on. Kindly explain.
Time part indeed. All right. So anyway.
Of course.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. So when we say parallelism, the structure in the words used should be the same. So since running is in the present progressive tense, then it should be the same with jump and skate. So it should be Sarah likes jumping, running, and skating, or change also running to run. So Sarah likes to jump, run, and skate. Either way would do.
Correct. Right. That's it. Let's see. Of course, this is the correct way of writing it. So again, logical communication, right? Make sure you're observing the right tenses. Next, complete communication. Cup of English and Dean Virgo had a communication. All right, Cup of English sent a message. RE4 has no video files attached. Look at Dean Virgo. He said, this is received. What do you mean with the video? So what to do? Please advise. Do you think that the message is complete? Who would like to answer that one? Again, virtual hand. Quickly. Or let's see, Samuel. Okay, Tulagan. BSN1. Do you think that this example in here is an example of a complete communication? Complete information?
No, ma'am.
Why not? Sir Tulagan? You know, it's not, but like it's hard to explain why not, right? Is it? No, ma'am, because the receiver wouldn't ask in the first place if it is complete. Exactly, right? Of course, if it's a complete information, Dean Virgo, Sir Virgo would not have a follow-up question. What do you mean with the message? What do you mean? That's already a signal word. It is not a complete information. Sometimes in the nature of our job, I believe Dean Virgo would also feel that sometimes we miss a lot of information, right? That is given because we do lots of things. We multitask. So it is given that we would miss information. But of course, again, we need to be careful with that, especially when you are communicating with your teachers. Yes. All right. So of course, now this is the example of a complete message. So cup of English, give the missing information. So your message contains everything it needs. That is complete communication. Now, why do we need to communicate completely? Of course, because it develops and enhances reputation. right? Not only your reputation with your among your classmates, but also like maybe the organization that you will be in later on, right? It is also cost saving, time saving. You see, Sir Virgo would send message question. I need to answer that. I need to respond back. It would spend me time, right? So it would, if we complete the message, the information that he needed, it could save us also time. Last one, be courteous. When I say courteous, stepping into your audience shoes. Why do we need to be courteous? Well, we all know what is courteous, by the way. Lizelle. I'm sorry. She's the one saying her environment is noisy, right? Bumagat. How about bumagat? Don't tell me your environment is also noisy, ah. When you attended this lecture, I'm supposed you are ready to attend this lecture. I'll go.
Lozano raised her hand.
I'll go, Luzano. Okay.
You should communicate friendly and in polite manner.
In a polite why? Why do we need to be polite?
And she's gone.
Oh, she's gone. Okay, ma'am, our dog is barking. You see? All right. Okay. So why do we need? Oh,
we
go
have
on.
one. Charity. Callejo.
Charity Callejo. All right.
Ma'am, to show our respect to people po.
Exactly, right? It doesn't matter younger than us, older than us. They have the authority compared to us. We have to be courteous, be polite, right? Yes, it will. Why? Because at some point it will help improve our relationship with them, actually, and it will show that you are empathizing with them, you are showing interest with them. So again, be courteous. All right. So be friendly, open, and honest. Well, honest, open, maybe it depends on your relationship with people, right? You cannot just be friendly, open, and honest to your boss, for example, right? When you're going to work. All right. So now we're done with the 7 C's. Actually, the 7 C's has also variations now. They say credible is also part of it. Yeah, so when you say credible, it's like, does your message improve or highlight your credibility, especially when your audience does not know about you? What else? Creative. I love creative. This variation actually of the 7C. Creative. Does your message communicate creatively? You know, sometimes I love reading creative message. It makes me interested to chat more, right? Say for example, maybe you have a crush. You wanted to leave a good impression, right? Try to communicate creatively, right? Don't just go with hi po, good morning po, right? The common ones that we usually use. Luzano is raising her hand. Okay, go on. What is it? Luzano? Oh, I think Dean Virgo couldn't unmute you now. Maybe he's doing something else. Okay, all right. So yeah, basically talk creatively. It is like Marites. Marites. Who is Marites? Oh, anyway, it sounds like I've heard this from somewhere. Okay, anyway, we're done with communication. So I hope that guys, communication becomes a critical skill in our daily life. So I hope that when you communicate well, you become more efficient. You tend to command respect among your peers and maintain a healthy relationship with your colleagues. So keep in mind the 7 C's. All right. So let's go with the globalization. Well, different scholars have different definition of globalization. So Soproni, Luminita, and Horga and Ayowan define it as an economic phenomenon that its impact could, expand onto social, political, and cultural levels because of its ideas, the doctrines, the habits, and the cultural movements that we needed to exchange goods between nations. So that's how these authors, scholars, defined globalization. Other authors like Thomas Friedman also define it as a what? It is an integration of the market, the nation states, and technologies at unseen level. All right, so that's how they define globalization. Now, how about you guys? What is your idea about globalization? Okay, raise your hand, go. Like your own idea, not a bookish idea, okay? Your own, like rephrase what you have learned from book. Mm. The one who said he's into operations management, we would like to call him back. Who is that again?
Joseph MacArthur, is he the one?
The one the major is into like management or something, operations like this. Please share us your thoughts about globalization. Globalization is interaction and integration. It's a general information. Interaction with what? Integration with what, right? So yeah, like that's why I want you to express your own understanding of it, not the one that you got from the book. Okay. Who is that? The one. Okay, leave it. Globalization is an interaction with a different country and people. Okay, interaction with people, yeah, of course, right? So globalization simply, it describes how countries and its people interact together. Oh, Puma, is it Puma? I don't know, it's waiting room. Okay. All right. Okay, so someone is
One.
raising their hand. Go. Mendoza.
Do it again, Rodrigo.
Unmute, perhaps. Oh, there.
Sorry.
There.
Ma'am, for me, it is kind of sociolinguistics. Your language is nakadepende po kung paano ka magsalita, kung sino yung kinakausap mo.
You mean
For
that's
example,
how?
if parang if I am in a different social circle, I would talk differently.
All right. That's how you define globalization, right? Maybe communication and globalization, communication towards globalization, perhaps. What do you think? How about, I wanted to hear from those who are business majors. Do we have, Sir Virgo?
Yeah, someone from but you're gone. Anyway, please, you may just raise your hand again. Virtual
Yeah.
hand. Thank you.
Yes. I can see Mendoza is an English major. Okay, thank you, Mendoza. How about the other from other majors? I would like to hear from you guys your own understanding of globalization, because it's a general information. Yes, so we have to digest it to make it easy to understand. So who would like to share their thoughts? Sineca. Okay, go share your thoughts verbally. AB Psych. Go on.
Vinette, you can unmute now. I think, yeah, there. We have one from PBS, Kenneth Abelia. Kenneth, go. Unmute, please.
Ma'am, ano po? The process of interaction and interrogation among people in the worldwide.
Can you give me an example?
Like importing or exporting.
Good. Foreign trade, right? Yes, that's kind of globalization as well. What else? Who has another example? Let's just make it clear by giving example, okay? Who else would like to share their examples of globalization? Good job, Okay. Who else? Austria. Who is that? Puma.
For a while. Craven.
Puma.
For a while.
Yeah.
Craven, you may now unmute so that you could be heard.
Example of globalization. We don't need to define it. Just give me example.
For me, actually, the globalization is actually a way of interacting with other people, especially when it comes to politics and business, because when presidents talk about business, they talk about other things like issues and stuff about trading and stuff. And
Hold on. Don't say stuff, stuff, stuff. Give me a specific example. When they talk about
uh,
what is that stuff? When they deal with what stuff? Okay.
resources, ma'am, resources
Good.
and different kinds of issues,
What
like
different kinds of issues? Like, I'm
like
practicing
the
now
way
your
of
effective communication. Go. Like,
like parts of the country where they take parts of part of the country, like cities like that.
countries, for example, like the
For
ASEAN
example, like
countries.
China and Philippines, they are waging a war against the West China,
Okay.
West Philippine Sea.
Then how can communication gets in there? Diplomatic communication, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Globalization, foreign trade, for example. Google lang malakas. Google, what is that? Globalization, communicate to other countries. Say for example, later I would be discussing it, but okay, it's okay to give it now. For example, like online shopping, right? A lot of people, they dislike products from China, but they don't know most of the products they buy in Shopee or on Shopee, Lazada, they're made in China or from China. So that's also example of globalization, right? Cultural, very good. Who is this? Abaya. Diplomatic, economic, globalization, culture exchange, right? Yearly before the pandemic, the Philippines or each country would send a representative to like be part of the culture exchange. Actually, I met people before when I was in China, wherein they are exchange students, cultural exchange. Why? Because yeah, part of like globalization, maintaining global peace, for example. Barter, yeah, that is trading. Okay, so yeah, for over a millennium, technology, art, culture, religion, and philosophy were transmitted along the Silk Road. And we know, I'm not sure if you know, but I believe those who are studying or who will study business know that the history of globalization expanded 2,000 years ago. And it started when the Silk Road began, right? Yeah, so how? Uh, because of the Silk Road, globalization became possible. How? That's when they started trading their products, let's say Chinese products, and then to like India, and then India to like India to nearby countries, for example, and then like China to this what do you call this, landlocked countries like Uzbekistan, for example. Or they use this routes, the roads to exchange information. And imagine at that time they have language barrier, but they were able to like overcome that just because of their trades. For example, they were able to also what do you call this, influence each other's culture. For example, if you notice, let's say the border here, this is China, right? This border part of China, and then let's say Kyrgyzstan. Usually near the border, the religion is different. Say for example, some parts in China, they are Muslims. Yeah. So again, that is the religion part, right? What else? Say for example, maybe Indian products before, like the spices, the herbs. You know, India is famous for like medical herbs, right? Also with China, so they tried to exchange their products. So like that was the foreign trade before. That's why they say the Silk Road is considered the world wide web. It's like our modern internet now. Mm. Okay, so yeah, communication and globalization, how do they affect each other? Of course, number one, it increased business opportunities. How? How does communication and globalization increase business opportunities? Say, for example, e-commerce. What is e-commerce? Those who are majoring in business, go raise your virtual hand. Quickly, quickly. E-commerce, and how is it related to like communication and globalization? Oh, who? I will just call. Okay, Valdez. Mr.
Valdez
Valdez.
Russell? Or-
Yes, I think so. Yes, yes, yes. Clifford, I think it's Clifford.
Okay.
E-commerce. When we say e-commerce, what is your understanding of e-commerce and how is it related to communication and globalization? Go on.
Online shopping, ma'am.
Very good. Online shopping. So tell me more about online shopping.
Like shopping, ma'am, in Lazada.
All right. And so what do we do with the online shopping? What do we do with Shopee and Lazada?
By
How does it increase business opportunities? Let's narrow it down.
Let's have another one.
Go on.
Errol.
All right. Marcelo, I think yes. Go.
Errol, you can
unmute.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we have Bumagat this time.
Go on.
Raised it.
Lots of people raising their hands because they can relate. They always shop online.
Hey,
Go
ma'am.
on. I'll go.
Ma'am, e-commerce. Ma'am, e-commerce help the other business or businessman to improve their business to communicate to other country to know their products and to be popular.
So because of like technology, so e-commerce becomes possible, right? So yeah, just with a click, say for example, you're a customer, okay, you're buying something on Lazada, you're buying shoes or what on Lazada. With a click, you were able to like send that product, your order to someone like in China, and this one from China would of course accept your order and then deliver it using a cargo ship, for example, right, or air shipment. Then okay, so easy job nowadays, right? Some people, they say like, oh, this like this kind of trend is like it affects lots of people because like this kind of job not everyone can do it, you know. I'm still like, we are still struggling with this. Actually, no, there's no other way around. You have to learn and navigate yourself with that technology. Actually, you see, I found out on Lazada rather, most of those suppliers, most of those sellers are actually from other countries like China, less people from our country because perhaps the awareness is less, right? We're in, actually we can do that. I have some friends were in, they said, oh, they've been working in Singapore for so long and they said they wanted to come back home and then they wanted to establish their online store on Lazada. Actually, that is also, you know, increasing business opportunities for the people in here. So yeah, for those, especially those on the business, that is already the trend, and China actually has been doing that for like 5 years now and they are successfully doing that. We can learn from them, right? How about freelancing? Freelancing, okay, Perez, go on. How can freelancing jobs increase business opportunities? De Jesus, okay, raising his virtual hand, go.
Freelancing is it's like when a person is freelancing, he is like a self-employed worker. He's not actually committed in one job. He can work multiple jobs all at the same time. So it improves globalization, like working online for in another country, let's say America. But he can also work for a company that's also in the Philippines or other countries as well, all at the same time. It improves the economy and for communication. I think because it's required in a job to communicate to get different other jobs when you're freelancing.
Right. So in the Philippines, say for example, what are the common freelancing jobs that majority of the people in our country do or choose to do? What do you think? Are you familiar, or we still need to do some research on that? I think the common ones are like editor. Oh yeah, editor. More on like call center. I think I heard like some people the circle of circle. Oh, okay, go. De Jesus. Unmute. Please unmute. It's like I'm not courteous enough to just say unmute, please.
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Could you please give us an example of like common freelancing jobs that Filipinos do in the Philippines nowadays?
I'm not very familiar, but for me, I think online shopping.
Oh yeah, like those who establish their stores online, right? yeah, maybe in the morning they are students, but actually they have an online store on Lazada, right? Because now it's easy to like call a delivery to pick up the things in your house and send it to your customer's address,
Oh,
right? Mm.
there's more s- like students working multiple jobs at the same time to support their financial needs for university and something like
Oh,
working. I have a cousin who actually does that. He works part-time construction worker. Sometimes he works as a part-time delivery man for an online shopping store
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
stuff.
mm-hmm,
And he's also working as an, I don't know what to call it, like a chef, a cook,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
to
Right.
earn money.
Right, right. Actually, nowadays logistics, yeah, that the logistic industry is earning lots of money now, and that is becoming the common trend, right? Like someone said here, Food Panda. Correct, right? Maybe they're a student in the morning, they do Food Panda in the evening. It's right because sometimes we order from Jollibee like at 11 in the evening, and then we can see that oh, the delivery guy is so young actually. So we ask him like, oh, is this your full-time job? And I said he's just a student. See, right? So it provides business opportunities. Yeah, call center because I mentioned this a while ago because I remember I have this one teacher and then she's doing the call center job in the evening, but she does the teaching in the afternoon. Yeah. So all right, how about digital? When we say digital, let's say for example like the let's say getting the things it's kind of like related to this Shopee or Lazada as well, right? Or like why this one Netflix here is because nowadays we don't need to like buy or rent like a DVD. We can just use some websites or let's say Netflix for example to like watch movies, and here comes Netflix charging us, right? So they're the ones earning. Yes. So when you before you can watch films, for example, quality films, even on YouTube now, before you can watch an HD film or to this what do you call this, to remove the advertisements, you need to be a member, right? So they're the ones earning money, right? So I hope that we Filipinos can be creative enough to come up with our own, let's say, for example, applications that Filipinos can also enjoy. Actually, you know, in China, this is their advantage. Young people, they are so much into technology and science that yeah, they can come up with their new mobile applications and then people can benefit and they're the ones earning money. You can't imagine Google cannot enter China, so who is earning their own? They have their own browser actually, right? We love using Google, but actually we're making them rich, right? How about we make the people in our country or like local business owners rich, right? Or we do it ourselves by ourselves, right? So I encourage you guys, like if you think that you have passion in technology or into science, yeah, please pursue that, right? Nothing beats passion. What is this? Okay, all right. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have an overtime Sir Virgo. Yeah, I'm not going to meet the 1 hour.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
Oh, you're prepared for that, right? Although you because Sir Virgo limited me into 1 hour, but I think okay, I'm not done yet. I think I will be extending. All right. So what else? Technology. Yeah, we've been talking about that. Recently, I've been applying for like some business, business procedures in China to make things legal. And yeah, the advantage there, I don't need to go to China to sign a contract. I can just do it digitally. And then they will be the one to apply it. So that's the advantage now. Social media. How can social media increase business opportunities now? Oh, I believe young people, you can say more a lot in here. Oh, go. Raise your virtual hand. Go on. Social media. How can social media increase business opportunities? Oh, Valdez. Madriaga. All right, go on. Go on, sir. Which major are you in?
BS Criminology, ma'am.
Oh, good. The representative of criminology department. Oh, go.
Communication and globalization affect ano ma'am kasi ano po social media can you can post example ma'am your item you can post in social media to promote it ma'am to to see to para makita yung mga ibang mga ibang ano ma'am, mga ibang tao yung ano mo, yung mga
Your
binebenta
product.
mo, your
maybe.
product ma'am ganun.
Uh-huh,
Para ano po.
Mhm.
And to ano ma'am, if you can post on social media like Facebook, or you can even post it Instagram and also in Twitter ma'am to promote it para for faster ano ma'am, faster transaction.
You can promote now your products online. Use your Facebook, for example. Veran is raising his virtual hand. Go. Unmute your microphone, please.
So, ma'am, nowadays, online streaming is very popular,
I'm
especially
sorry,
in
online what? Online?
online live streaming, ma'am.
A live streaming.
Online.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
especially in games, ma'am. For example, in YouTube, there's
Mhm.
a lot of people earning money by live streaming or posting some other stuff in video like pranks. So by doing that, there's a lot of opportunities that open because of social media, of course.
Right.
Ads, promotion of product. Yeah, that's all.
Right. Like Facebook games as well. Like I've seen some people, I don't understand that actually, but like I've seen they do Facebook Live and then they're getting some viewers and they're earning money, right? Of course, Filipinos are not only just good with that, right? We should also be good with science, technology, something related, right? Not just with online games. Yes. Social media. What else? Like the one they say live selling. Maybe you see people on your news feed, they keep on posting their live selling. Please don't be annoyed. That's really the trend now, and it will continue for the next years to come. Yes, the China is really, like what I said, utilizing their technology and like mobile applications to like do business. They're really good with that, and I hope that we can also do the same thing in the Philippines. Yeah, I saw people wherein they do vlogging. Yeah, the vlogging. Yes, they can also earn money with that. The YouTube, they post it on YouTube, they post it on Facebook, or I'm not sure if someone is doing it on TikTok now, wherein they do live selling, and then they will sell their products or they will market their products on TikTok. That's the trend now. Actually, China, even like government agencies, like say the embassy of Hungary in China, they tried to use TikTok to promote their products from Hungary. So this is like adjusting to the trend now, right? So that would help them introduce their product and at the same time profit, make money, right? Live streaming. Okay, I got you. Next, we have e-services, right? Say, for example, we have lots of e-services now. Government services, for example, before we have to fall in line to pay our electric bills, water bills, whatever bills, right? Nowadays, at the click of your own phone, you can already pay them, successfully pay them, right? So, online paying, correct. That's right. That's right. But how can that, let's say, online paying increase business opportunity? Virtual hand, go. Miss Callejo, go.
Ma'am, through GCash po.
Yes, all right. How about it? How does it increase business opportunity? You know the e-service, an example of that is GCash. Also, that's what you are racing for, right? But like, how does it increase business opportunity? You're not raising a hand for that. Okay, go. De Jesus.
E-services like Gcash business opportunity because it's easy, it's an easier transaction than personal. That's what I think.
Someone said service fee. This is very good,
Oh, yeah,
actually.
the service fee, the
Yeah.
delivery fee.
Yeah. The delivery fee, service fee, they would earn money from that. Even actually, when you buy something online, they will charge you with a delivery fee. So that's how they are also earning, right? They're making money. They're profiting actually. Fast transaction is the benefit, right? Okay, good job. All right, so what else? Of course, communication and globalization affect each other in a way that it can reduce cultural barriers. For example, stereotypes or prejudices. right? What are the common stereotypes in the Philippines? Could somebody answer that? Maybe you are experiencing your this issue. Okay, share it with us. Basada. Okay, go, Miss Basada. What kind of stereotypes are common in the Philippines? Okay. Oh, you say.
Basada, you may now unmute. It's taking time. I think she cannot.
Okay, I will give an example. I think maybe you can think of your own later on. When I was in China, of course, like I stayed in a dormitory wherein like all of us are foreigners, right? Foreign students. And here comes this one from Tanzania and Kenya, wherein they ask me, like, Misty, is it true that in the Philippines it's like it's really poor that you even live in a like a wooden house? I said, huh? Who gives you that idea? Where did you get that idea? And then she said, we love watching Filipino films like Brillante films, for example. Yeah, I was surprised actually. They know about the Philippines, they know there are oceans, but when they said like, oh, we live in a wooden house, it's like a little bit off, right? It's not all of us to live in a wooden house. So sometimes when you hear that kind of maybe stereotyping, you have to correct them so that when they maybe meet people, they will also correct the other person. Now, do you have an idea? Are you getting an idea? If not, then we move on to language. Okay, how can apilada? All right, go on. Feel free. Please unmute.
Based on your hi ma'am, good morning. Based on your explanation or your sample, na parang na-experience ko na rin po kasi yan po. So by the foreigners or the other people, by watching TV po kasi parang nakakakuha sila ng idea about sa country, which is kahit na mali naman. So this pumapasok na po dito yung mga wrong information about the certain country, even though they are not real or because of influence in television or the other people. So
exactly. That's where their misconception form, right? Because maybe of the films they watch, right? So they think that, yeah, of course, we are smart enough to digest like which one is really maybe you think is true. But sometimes actually we also form that judgment, right? Mendoza, go. What is it?
Ma'am, for me, for example, when I am talking to someone who uses a different language, of course, I would not be able to understand them. Kahit sa English po, syempre, kung native English sila, they would use a dramatic expression that I don't use or hindi ko naman masyado naiintindihan. So, meron pong barriers. Another example, kapag nagjo-joke po sila, hindi ko nagigets kasi, nga po, hindi ako makarelate sa kanila.
So that you related it to your own major, right? Very good. Yeah. Please, when you provide example, I would appreciate it if you could relate it to your own major, right? So, we can understand you guys are all from different majors. So your example, base it on your maybe major that you're studying. Oh, De Jesus. Okay. It's getting active now, Sir Virgo. I believe we will reach 12. Okay. Go, sir. Sir De Jesus.
For language, it's very important in business, especially when international. If you're going for international, because if you're only stuck in if you're only monolingual, like you only know your own language, a lot of people wouldn't understand you. And at least it's better to learn and hone your English skills since it's the universal language. Once you learn languages that are it's useful for the business you're going for. Let's say you're going to Korea. Korea is not known for having English as a second language. If you're planning to work for them or work there, it's better to learn their native language than expect them to adjust to your language like English or Filipino or whatever native language you have.
All right, very good. Yeah, so giving an example like Korea, for example, yeah, we could also relate that to travel, right? Nowadays, lots of people could afford to travel because our economic ability or financial ability is getting better and better, so we could afford to travel wherever we wanted, for example, or in the Asian countries. So now, when we travel, we could also like understand the culture of this place, right? Or language. How about in language? Now we do have lots of translation tools. Before, like they are so worried. People are so worried to travel because of what? Because like, oh, I couldn't understand the language, especially for like maybe Japan, Korea, China. Like when they travel to other countries, they are kind of like hesitant to go because they think they will have a language problem. They wouldn't understand. But now technology is improving. Like what I said, we do have now translation tools that we could use to maybe understand each other, right? Okay, even myself, I experienced that myself when I was in China. Yeah, we don't need to like sometimes if I don't know a word, I just go directly to my phone and translate it and show it to them and they could understand that already. mm. Or yeah, language learning apps that could also improve cultural barriers. Traveling, but recently we cannot travel, right? So just like in virtual travel. All right, creation of global village. Okay, this was like coined by McLuhan actually. So here, global village. Now we have e-learning as example, the MOOC learning. So massive. What is that? The MOOC, massive open online course. So more and more now are into digital learning, right? So Mm, in this way, it also like bridges gaps that we have before, right? And then we can be perhaps united to understand each other country. For let's say the information, we can get information from them without going there physically, right? Through e-learning, like what you are doing now, right? I don't need to go to Pan Pacific University to do the lecture. We can just do it virtually. What else? Virtual jobs. We already discussed this a while ago. There are more and more virtual jobs now, like call center. They can do that at home. Yeah. What else? Transcriptionist. I think they also do that now online. What else? Webinars. Yeah, through webinars we can exchange information or culture information, for example. So yeah, that is how global communication changed the environment, our environment, culture, politics, and economic elements of the world. Mm. All right. So I'm doing it quickly now because Sir Virgo said, "Oh, okay, and 11:30." Yeah, don't worry, you're actively participating, so it's a good thing, right? Okay. All right. Now, how about cultural issues? There are, of course, issues that we need to address. The common issues. For example, of course, when cultures, it says here by Vagan, when cultures meet or intersect, complexities often increase. I myself, learning or studied in China, experienced this. In a classroom there were like 20 students. These 20 students, they're all from different countries: Japan, Colombia, or Cuba, for example, like those countries. And sometimes they have a strong opinion in the class. So usually 1 hour in the class, it also extends. And sometimes we pity the teacher because she doesn't know how to control the class anymore because each has their strong opinion in the class. So it's common that we have different perceptions or different beliefs, habits. When we like clash, it's hard to maybe control it or solve it. What else? uh, when we say, okay, I give example. So that is multicultural. Did this one. I'm talking of multicultural in here. Now, let's talk about the let's say people who failed because of cultural mistakes. Locally, we have. I'm not sure if you know her, but there was a time she said that, "You think I'm an Igorot? I'm not an Igorot. I'm human." Do you remember her? And she was declared persona non grata by the city of Baguio. So again, you see how cultural sensitivities are very important. It's not only when you're talking with your fellow Ilocano, for example, but like sometimes we have this misconceptions with the Bisaya, for example, right? We should disregard those, maybe misconceptions, and try to be civil. Yes. What else? We have by the DepEd. Okay. It earned bashes from like the public, right? So I guess it's not only by speaking but also by through writing or the books that we publish, the education sector or whatever, later on you will be like dealing with written English. Be careful the way you deliver your message. Again, cultural sensitivities. Mm. What else? Let's go international, global examples. I'm not sure if you're familiar of this business Groupon. They had a business failure because of lack of local understanding. They failed to understand the culture of China. And you know, Chinese, they are very sensitive with their culture because it's been rooted for like thousands of years. So here comes Groupon, an international company trying to make business in China. They failed because they forgot to pay attention on the cultural side. So you see, communication, culture, language, right? They go hand in hand. What else? Mm, this one, Dolce and Gabbana. It's an Italian brand. It's an Italian company. What's the problem? Now, until now, actually, when I was there 2018, they were having a struggle. This issue came up that there is this Chinese, they use a Chinese, and she was using a chopstick to eat a spaghetti. Now, as a Filipino, we think that's nothing to like fuss about, right? Because it's maybe it's normal, right? We got used to do that even at home. But for them, they are very sensitive with that. Like chopstick, it's spaghetti is not their food in China. So you use that chopstick, it's like, you know, disrespecting their culture. And then the girl on the advertisement is using the the chopstick to point like this, and that is kind of like disrespecting. So now they tried to ban, the Chinese government tried to ban this successful company. So those are examples. Again, be aware of those things. What else? So yeah, okay, we discussed the issues. Now let's learn how to be an effective multicultural communicator, not only in the Philippines, but later maybe when you go abroad, work abroad, right? So it is important that we bring this with us. So I would like to cite the World Bank 2010. So they say that in order for us to become an effective communicator, we need to be flexible, right? Sometimes you're in a group of people with different culture, like what I said, they would give you like different opinions, they have different beliefs, especially on politics. You know, you have to be flexible enough to accept their opinion. You need to be open-minded and adjust yourself with the environment that you are in. So again, be flexible. Same thing when you talk with with people from the Philippines who are from different culture or they have different political view. Some people I've read like, oh, I already unfriended my friend on Facebook because they have different political views. Be flexible to adjust, right? Unfriending is not the solution. All right. Okay. What else? We have being mindful with the words that we say. Like I already give you the issues, right? The Candy Pangilinan issue, the way we spoke words, the way we are towards other cultures. Be careful of the words that we usually say, or else that would backfire to us. So reflect on your words. Think about it before you say it, before you deliver what you are trying to say. What else? uh 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 uh, uh Open-mindedness. It's kind of like being flexible, right? I mean, here, open-minded uh, to accept other people's opinion from different culture, right? Say before, some people would think like, "What do you?" I was I was in China, and then of course different people, and then here comes this Italian classmate, and then like we were talking like, "What do you think about the Philippines?" I asked, and they said, "Oh, I think your country is very poor." I could just like argue or like get mad easily and like rant, right? But like I have to be open mind. What makes him Philippines is poor. No, no, no. I have to correct his notion about the Philippines, but in an open-minded way, in a polite way, right? So if we think like people sometimes they say some words that it feels like it's off, again, do it in a diplomatic way. All right? Mm. Okay. What else? Sensitivity. Yeah, it's the same, right? When we deal with people, we need to be sensitive. right? We need to be sensitive. Let's say, for example, like we're visiting a house, like, oh, okay, I have a picture in here. We visited a Chinese house, and then we were not sensitive enough to bring gifts. And then we forgot that it's their culture. When you visit a house, you have to bring gifts, whatever gifts, like fruits. It could be like that, but there should be something on your hand. And we forgot to do that. And it was too late for us to realize we forgot to bring gifts. So again, be sensitive on those things, right? You'll never know where what can or what it can bring you later on. What else? I'm not asking you to give examples now because again, we're running out of time. Adaptability. You need to know how to adjust with the environment that you are in, right? Oh, they're eating something, and you think that no, 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 I've never eaten this kind of food. Be open-minded to like adjust yourself and then try. You'll never know as well. Yes. So again, not only with foreign people, but also in the Philippines. You're visiting your friend's house. It's their first time to invite you, and maybe they're serving you tuyo, sardinas. You think like, oh no, this kind of food, guys, right? You know better. So again, be sensitive with those, and then no, 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 no. I'm sorry, I don't eat tuyo. Yeah, is that good? Is that okay? Yeah. So again, adjust yourself with the situation. And we have this saying in the Philippines: pag maiksi ang kumot, what? Matutong mamaluktot. Yes. So it's the same with this one. Next, we have engage in thinking creatively. Oh, I guess this one would be so good for you guys, young people, because at school, right, you are still students. There are lots of like activities that could improve your communication, socialization, critical thinking. I do encourage you to take part on those. Perhaps, sir, I'm very shy. No, take part on those. It could really improve your communication, not only like communication, like personal communication, but even more. Yeah. So when I was a student, we have lots of this. Actually, the school would organize lots of activities and bring us to different places, and then try this, try that, and it somehow opened our mind and eyes. Yeah, and it helps us being creative as well. Okay, so another I would like to yeah, also politeness. I think this is the last one that the World Bank said, that how it can help us to be an effective communicator. Again, be polite. It doesn't matter young or old. You're talking to someone young, someone that is older than you. Oh yeah, so this is a I was with the ambassador of the Philippines to China. So sometimes when you meet older people, yeah, we of course naturally we will like we will act up politely, right? The challenging part is that when we're talking to someone younger than us, yeah, like a while ago, okay, unmute your microphone, right? Because I know you're younger than I, right? So I would just say, okay, unmute your microphone. I don't even say please, all right? So don't follow that.
Miss
Don't follow
Misty,
that. You say,
you look young, as students might say.
oh yeah. Oh guys, I'm almost 30. No, I think I'm already 30. Okay, so again, be polite. It doesn't matter the age. Again, pay more attention when you're talking to someone younger than you. Because for older, I think we don't have a problem, right? It's been rooted to us by our parents. Okay. Another one is that I would like to reference Balgos and Sipacio. I think they made this a book on purposive communication in the Philippines. That was in 2016. They added that, oh, avoid stereotyping. In order for us to be an effective multicultural communicator, we already talked about that. Like I remember why I put this, because my example would be like before, yeah, the wooden house. I think this one is the one that they're trying to say, like people, Filipinos live in a kubo, bahay kubo. Some people, foreigners, may think like that, may have a notion like this. So sometimes we need to correct that, right? Again, we know ourselves. In order for us to be an effective multi-communicator, we need to avoid these stereotyping. Yes. What else? Uh, challenge gender norms. Well, this photo, actually, you may not believe it. This is my Thailand friend. He works in the Prime Minister's office in Thailand, and he is a bisexual. This is my French friend. He's still a student, now a university student. He's also a bisexual. And this friend is from South Africa. She works in the Department of Finance of South Africa, and she's a lesbian. So again, right, you are in a community wherein you need to be sensitive with gender. So there are people sometimes the he or the she, right? They are very, very into like, should I call you? Is it he or she? Sometimes we need to ask. If you think that, oh, this one is bisexual or this one is gay, then we need to be sensitive. Like, sir or ma'am, how should I call you, right? Gender norms, challenging gender norms. Yes. Don't be so judgmental, You don't know. Those who are in the LGBT community are one of the smartest people, actually. Yes. Okay. All right. So I guess that would be the second to the last. The last one would be respect the younger people and the elderly. This is the one I'm saying a while ago, right? It's easy to respect the elderly, but the younger, it's a little bit challenging. So practice on that. You can practice with your like siblings at home. You have a younger sister, younger brother. Okay, don't be so rude to them, right? Okay, so what else? Be sensitive to the religious practices of other people, right? You are with people wherein they have different religions. Say, for example, in the Philippines, the common one, like you're an Iglesia ni Cristo, right? And you have a friend who is an Iglesia ni Cristo, and you don't believe in that. Oh, I don't want to be friend with her. Don't be like that, right? So again, be flexible to adjust yourself. Yes, don't worry. They will not recruit you, for example, to go to their church or what, right? This is actually, I do have some friends in the university where in their Iglesia ni Cristo, but our friendship they never use their religion that could influence our friends. I remember I have two Iglesia ni Cristo friends, but I remember they never even invited me, like, come to our church. They never even forced me to go. So be sensitive on those ones. All right. Okay, so that's it for communication. Let's have a review. Communication, we can divide it into local and global. Globalization, yeah. So if we could trace back the history of globalization and now the modern globalization, we have foreign trade, we have culture exchange, right? So e-commerce, those are the common ones now. Okay, so let's do this one quickly. Since we are done, so it's very quick, right? Since we are done. Okay, what were your thoughts or ideas, let's call on people, about multicultural communication prior to the discussion of this lecture? Okay, please raise your virtual hand. Let's call on two each. Two students to answer this, and we go to the next question. All right, go on. Your prior idea before this discussion, what was your concept of multicultural communication? Who would like to answer?
Okay. Mr. Ivan, may I make an announcement that those students who would be sharing their ideas already will no longer have the write-up afterwards, because the activity given by Ms. Misty will be your activity for this session. So the students who would be responding verbally now will no longer, there you go, would no longer answer via the Google Classroom. So with that, we have Juan de Jesus.
Go on.
I heard not writing anymore, so I immediately raised my hand. My thoughts about multicultural communication prior to the discussion. I already had an idea, because ever since I was in junior high, I was surrounded with people with a lot of different cultures, genders, that basically we were mixed in together. So I was already sensitive with this kind of stuff.
Oh, so it's kind of like a reminder for you, right? This lecture.
This lesson was just like a reminder that I should always be sensitive about other people's cultures, because not everyone is gonna be let's say someone will get offended by something that you're not. I don't know how to explain. There's a lot of things that you should be sensitive about them. You should also always consider their feelings about certain situations, like religion. You shouldn't force others to believe what you believe, or you shouldn't force others to believe your opinion just because you think that that is right. Because for them, it's wrong. The other thing is right, which you consider wrong. So you have to respect each other's beliefs and culture. So.
All right. Yes. So it's kind of like a refresher for you in terms of multicultural. Okay. All right. Who else?
Ms. Misty, before we let Mr. De Jesus, I think he really deserves this time not to already write come up with a write-up because he's been really participating since the start of your lecture. So can we give Mr. De Jesus a round of applause, please? What's your course, Mr. De Jesus? And he did not respond anymore.
He
Anyway,
couldn't unmute. Maybe his like yeah. Let's give him a confetti.
Sir, my course is BSBA operations, major in operations management.
okay,
Business
PBA.
administration,
All
right?
right, so yeah, he's good. Now we have another one, Marcos John. Marcus?
Good morning. Good morning po. So for me, my prior thoughts or ideas about multicultural communication, when I started hearing about multicultural communication, I think that it is too difficult and too complicated for me because I usually talk to my friends online and some of our topics are non-negotiable, I think, because some of them has different perspective than mine. So for me, this multicultural communication really is important for me to understand more the other people's perspective.
All right. Okay. Let's go with this one. I think the last question would be better for everyone to answer, I think. Yes, this one. What new or additional ideas did you learn after taking up this lecture? Even you were forced to attend this lecture. Okay, what ideas? Go on. This one, I think you could share more. Go.
Okay, let's wait for volunteers. As of now, De Jesus and Marcus are the only one exempted from
Perhaps they're
working.
thinking,
Okay.
there. Madriaga. Madriaga also is active. Go on.
Ma'am, additional ideas is ma'am, to boost business and communication skills, ma'am.
Boosting your communication skill. Particularly what?
Like if para sa ma'am, pag nasa ibang bansa ka, dapat need kang makisama, parang ganun po.
Okay, all right. Learned how to socialize, adjust in socialization. Okay. Who else? This one I could see on the screen. Major in mathematics. I could see him on the screen. So could we call
Okay.
him?
Mr. Nico, is that?
I guess he's been a good listener all throughout. I could see his face on the screen. Okay, go. Go,
And he's
sir.
the only one who's opening his video. Go.
Ma'am, dapat equality.
Again?
Equality, ma'am.
You mean? What do you mean?
Like sa sa gender.
Okay. You were able to relate on the gender. Okay, go on.
Number one problem is the discrimination, ma'am. So that you need to be don't mind other people. Say yung sinasabi sa iyo, ma'am, think positive and
it shouldn't affect your mood or your feelings, right? Like, bakla naman to, like this, right? Yeah, I hope it would it wouldn't affect your mood, right? Yes, you should know yourself more, right? And you shouldn't be swayed by other people's opinion towards
mind
you.
them and think. So just focus yourself.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's call on Viran. John Aaron. Okay. Kindly unmute.
Everyone, you can now unmute.
We will like prioritize those who are raising their hands. I'll go quickly.
Okay, I think it's taking time. You do it again. Iho, come on. Click it one more time. Anyway,
I'm seeing here. I'm too shy to answer. Who is this? Let's call in her. I'm too shy to answer. Isn't it the objective of this lecture is at the end of this one, at the end of this lecture, you shouldn't be shy anymore, right? That's why we encourage active participation from your group. I'll go.
Okay.
Try your best.
What's the name?
De Guzman. Rochelle May. Okay.
Nicholas.
You can do it, girl. Go.
Okay, you may
Express
unmute
yourself.
now.
500
Hello
people
po.
are looking. Go. Are watching, sorry.
Um, Ma'am, at first, when I don't, at first I thought that multicultural was, be sensitive, but I I learned now that I realize now that other countries or other people in other foreign people pala, they were so sensitive po pala, so sensitive. So I thought now that I must be careful. Yun po.
Yeah. Especially the way we call like the black. Like, oh, I have a friend from South Africa. She's black. Please be careful with that word because that South African friend of mine, she was really, really mad when we called her black. Because we got used to saying black in the Philippines. That's how we call them, right? But in their country, they have a law. Like the person who would say black, oh, they will be punished by the law in South Africa. So again, be careful with those kind of things. Okay, next we have Bumagat. Go. Go, sir.
You may unmute now. Mr. Limbre Bumagat. Go.
Ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am? Ma'am, before your lesson, ma'am, my prior knowledge about the multicultural, ma'am, is the other country is not too sensitive to the words that are saying to them, but when when I hear your activity, ma'am, I've learned that other country, ma'am, that we have a different culture, ma'am, that we respect to them, that we need to be open-minded. We need to be open-minded, ma'am, to their culture, ma'am.
All right. Okay, thank you, sir. I love this answer. Tabag Margie. As a nursing student, our discussion about multicultural communication reminds me about the theory of Madeline Linenger entitled Transcultural Nursing Theory. If you will work abroad as a nurse, you have to learn the culture of the country so that what? You will know how to approach your patients. Good answer. Why? She related it to her profession, to her major. If you could answer questions, if you could like share what you have learned and relate it to your major, wow, that would be so awesome. Go. Next. Who else? Oh, this one, Lizelle May. Oh, she's been active on the chat box. She said her environment was noisy, but now she's raising her hand. Go. It's for the sake of grade, yes? Oh, go. Kindly unmute. Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lizelle. You're now permitted to unmute. Go.
Good morning po. So, before the discussion, I have no idea about the 7 Cs of communication, but then I learned that there are important things that we should keep in mind when it comes to communication, which is the 7 Cs of effective communication, namely clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, complete, and courteous, to avoid any misunderstanding when it comes to giving and sharing our information or ideas to others. Yun lang po.
Which major are you in? Miss Lizelle? What is your major?
Health sciences, probably nursing.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, next. Miss Apilada. Okay. Oh, she's ready because she's fixing her hair. Go. She's preparing for this since like 10 a.m.
So, ma'am, I'm Eliza from BSc English major. So, before taking this your lecture, because before hearing your lecture, I always thought that all about communication is only for communicating with each other, like talking to them, parang basta ang communication is basta pagkikipag-usap lang sa ibang tao, like talking to them in their language, searching some translations. But after taking your lecture, I realized that communication have a lot of countermeasures. Like you have to understand first so what you are meaning, and you have to know first about their cultures in order for you to communicate freely and comfortable with them. So that's what I learned about communication after taking your lectures, ma'am. So thank you for that.
Good job, Miss Apilada, for going specific with your example. Not just copy from Google, right? And read on Google. Good job. Okay, next we have Miss Bautista. Kindly unmute, Miss Bautista. Okay.
As I learned in this lecture, ma'am, we need to respect and accept the culture, values, colors, and beliefs of every people we are interacting with.
Okay. Miss Francesca, okay, let's give an equal chance to those people raising their hand for the sake of grade. Okay, Miss Francesca, go. And please unmute.
She's already unmuted. You just have to talk, Miss Francesca. Probably we can get back to her. We can proceed to the
Okay. Go. Who's the next?
Austria Craven. You may know.
All right.
Hello po. Good morning po. Ma'am, regarding for the webinar today, I have learned so many things, and also I can apply this and relate this to my future career, because one of the benefits of being a seaman or a seafarer is learning different cultures from different places. And regarding the communication, basically communication is the world language. We can interact with other people from different countries using the English language.
All right. That's it. Good job. Good job. You're from the maritime, but you tried your best to speak in English. Good job. Okay, next. We were not forcing you to speak in English, but you see, the sir a while ago tried his best. Okay, go on. Next, who is the next? Mr. Tulagan.
Yes, you may unmute now.
All right. What I learned from today's lecture before, lagi lang ako nagsasalita because I'm very confident person. I'm an easygoing person. So what comes on my mind, so sinasabi ko lang kung ano ang gusto ko sabihin. Like frank or prangka akong tao, sabi nga nila. So wala akong pake kung may masaktan ako or what, no? So habang nagdi-discuss si ma'am, I realized that for us to be an effective person, especially in our course in nursing, no, we have patients that we need to deal with para malaman natin kung ano talaga ang kaso nila, and right way kung ano yung tamang ibibigay natin na resolution doon sa concern ni patient. So what I understand and that also I need to apply with is being an open-minded, and then think before you deliver, or think before you think, and especially be sensitive, because I have a lot of colleagues and friends na encounter ko or na interact. Sometimes they are sensitive, and may nasabi ako, and they got hurt with it. Okay, so ang nangyari, instead na maging solid ang friendship, nawala because of one word na hindi nila na kaya o hindi natanggap na lumabas sa bibig ko. So be sensitive, and also be polite as well, and the best thing is respect sa lahat ng aspeto ng buhay, or in everything, respect. Sabi nga ni Dr. Agliva before sa aming lecture sa Truth, you need to be kailangan ng acceptance and then mag-set goal. So yun ang gagawin ko. o i-apply ko na siya, maging sensitive, mag-ingat sa mga sinasabi, and then mag-practice, and then i-apply. So, big deal sa akin tong lecture na to, no? Parang tawag dito is sa tagal, I mean, sa tagal kong nagsasalita, or how do I explain this one? Parang ngayon ko lang na-realize na para maging effective ano tayo, maging effective na tao or effective na or like student or mamamayang Pilipino, we need to apply this one, especially the 7 C's, and also on how we become effective multicultural communicator. So thank you.
Oh, good job, Mr. Tulagan. You know your disadvantages, you know your weakness, you know the possible consequences of that, and you have your own solution for that. Okay, good. Next, we have, who is this? Palado? Neil Lewis. All right. Nor Palado. All right, go on.
Hello, good morning po. Am I heard po?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
you're clear.
So I just want to share that before this session started, I only have short knowledge about globalization. Like I only know that it is something related to business, like negotiations and trading companies like that. But what I didn't know is that that there is another whole lot of context about it in the globalization thing, and I can probably use it in my future job, which is to be an accountant. That to be wise and to be sensitive when it comes to other people's feelings and their thoughts, and that's pretty much of it. Thank you po.
All right. Okay, can we still accommodate Morris or Virgo, or I think I will let you lead now. I'm done. I'm done with my lecture. So like for the questions, yeah, I think take control, please.
So probably we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. So probably just shorten your answers into 2 to 3 sentences. That will be good. So let's have Mr. Mendoza.
Okay, ma'am. Parang ano lang po siya. Parang connected po dun sa sinabi ni Kuya Nico. Tsaka parang call to action na lang din po. Kasi yun nga, based on my experience, back then I was afraid that the stereotypes of gay people would be associated with me. Kasi di ba dito sa Philippines, parang yun nga, excessive flirting. At yun, parang kapag nagkamot ako, baka isipin nila na ganun din ako. Which is kind of hard, di ba? Tsaka dito po kasi sa Philippines, parang nadidisregard po yung bisexuality. Kumbaga kapag nag-jowa ako ng babae, I am straight. Kung nag-jowa ako ng lalaki, I am gay. At ayun po. So, nung na-expose ako sa maraming tao sa community na yun, parang na-feel ko na accepted ako kahit sino man ako, whether I am bisexual, straight, or gay. Kaya, kayo mga classmates ko, Diyos me, mas madaling huminga, mas madaling magsalita, mas madaling umakto ng kung sino man kayo kapag na-let go ninyong lahat. Pero take your time kasi may mga consequences eh. Kasi yun nga, si Daddy sinasabi niya, tanggap kita kaso may ganun, di ba? Pero I promise, this lesson I have acquired made me happier than ever. Kaya sana kayo din. Thank you po.
Oh, that is so touching to hear, actually. Yeah. So, thank you, Mr. Rodrigo. It's hard also to express, but yeah, I'm honored.
So I think we should really listen more. Okay.
Yeah, you see, you are hurrying me. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's have Mr. Valdez Clifford. So come on.
Mr. Clifford, quickly, Oh no, I'm the one hurrying. Okay.
Yes.
Unmute, please.
Nandine Christian Dave.
Go on.
Mr. Dave. Anyway, Mr. Ivan and Mr. Rodlan, kindly take note of the names of those giving their ideas via the chat box. That's also considered so that we could really give time as well for them. Okay, Miss Francesca is done, right?
No, I think she didn't speak.
Okay. Cabristante Matt Angelo, come on. If you will not unmute, then no more chance.
Tell us your major as well. So we can have a better understanding.
For today's lecture, ma'am, I realized something that as a HM student, I need to enhance the way I communicate to other and the way ko sila tignan kasi I'm a very sorry for very judgmental po kasi ako minsan. Then and I realized this time na we have a different type of aspect that we need to respect each and each. Parang kailangan natin respeto bilang isang tao yung iba. And then as a HM student, ma'am, sa multicultural communication, ma'am, siguro I need to enhance the way I communicate, ma'am, and then yung kailangan ko matuto na the different languages. Yan lang po.
Right.
All right.
So, Mr. Nandin, you may now unmute, please. You're next. You just have to click unmute. Mr. Christian Dave Nandin. Okay. Otherwise, if you can unmute, kindly just type your answers in the chat box so that we can already consider as your activity. Probably last one. Can we have Cortez? You may unmute. Giovanni Cortez.
Good morning po. I am late, but my overall learnings in this lecture as education student and PE major, I've always experienced discrimination in playing in the court in volleyball, but I've learned that we should always respect others and their cultures, tradition, beliefs, and we should always treat people in that way po.
Okay, so Ms. Misty, your final words before we finally end.
Based on your feedback, guys, I feel like at least this, although we really did over time, but I'm so happy that everyone had their own reflections. That's the most important thing. Perhaps like we know about communication, we know how to communicate. Sometimes we forgot how to do it effectively, right? Sometimes we need to be reminded. And I'm happy that this lecture, perhaps for others, it serves as a refresher, a reminder for them, and made us realize our weaknesses. And yeah, I'm so happy a while ago with Mr. Tulagan because he was able to express like he because of this lecture he was able to understand his weaknesses. He was able to come up with the consequences of that action, and he even provided his own solution. So that is his reflection. So yeah, well, again, it is, I believe, an effective lecture. Yes, is it? Everyone has their own realization. So I would claim it is an effective lecture. So thank you so much, everyone.
Ms. Missy, I think you still have few slides to share from your presentation.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, that wait. I hope, guys, that you could, like, since I already had this lecture, I'm having this lecture. I hope that you could follow us on Facebook. Yes, through these codes: Facebook, YouTube, the website, the WeChat, the TikTok, whatever. Either way. All right.
And-
I would
yeah.
appreciate that. Oh yeah. Go on.
And we have a Pan Pacific who was already working in your company, right? Mr. Nelson Stimon, right?
Oh yes, yeah. He is an English major, and he has already recently 4 students, going to 5 actually. So
Okay.
yeah, so far he's doing well.
Mhm. And so thank you so much, Ms. Misty. And we would like everyone to please have a screenshot of your responses via the chat box so that that will just be the one that you would comment in the activity area or activity submission in the Google Classroom so that you have a proof that you have actually typed your responses via the chat box, because definitely Mr. Ivan and Mr. Rodland cannot individually check your names this time. So again, this is the time for you to have a screenshot for your attendance for today. And again, please make sure that you have your screenshot of your responses via the chat box. And apart from your answers, we would like to, of course, read general comments about the teaching of Teacher Misty, because we believe in quality. So any thoughts about what transpired this morning? Come on, maybe kindly express your gratefulness probably, or your appreciation of today's lecture. There you go, Ms Misty, for your reference. You might want to read while I'll also facilitate our reading and awarding of the Certificate of Appreciation. So on behalf of Pan Pacific University, the Office of the President, and Dr. Engelbert C. Pasag, who committed to give you a simple but I think meaningful token later on. Anyway, for the information of everyone, Ms. Misty and I are actually students of Dr. Pasag. Can you confirm, Ms. Misty?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Philosophy in our philosophy class. Yeah.
There you go. We are products of Dr. N. Gilbert. So nonetheless, may I read the content of the certificate? Pan Pacific University, this certificate of appreciation is awarded to Misty T. Dagyapen for being the resource speaker for the webinar session on purposive communication with the topic Communication and Globalization among the freshman students via Zoom platform, given this 25th day of November 2021 at Pan Pacific University, Philippines, signed by your friend and by your employee, Ms. Misty, the Dean of the RPC. So once again, congratulations. Let's give Ms. Misty a big round of applause for a well researched and of course delivered lesson or lecture for today.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Oh, please, guys, don't forget to fill on the survey form, because, yeah, again, like what Sir Virgo said a while ago, we strive for quality, because the last time we had the internship, some students commented there, I spoke too fast. So I tried to adjust the speed for today. So again, please fill up the form that I have sent. Yeah.
Otherwise, yes. Otherwise, Ms. Mystic, you can also send it to me, and then we'll send it to the advisors so that the students could also check. So the attendance for today would be the completion of the assessment or evaluation form that Ms. Misty would be sending. All right. Ms. Misty will be giving us the list of those who responded. So let me clarify that once again. Apart from your screenshot of your responses via the chat box, and of course a screenshot that you've attended this class, you have to accomplish the evaluation form sent in the chat box right now, or to be sent later on if you miss it. May we now listen to the advisors for some final announcements. Mr. Rodland, let's begin with you.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So later on after this class, I will be posting an announcement in Google Classroom. That's where you will have to send your screenshot, or maybe I will send the link for you to send your screenshot of your attendance for today, and then a screenshot of your message in the chat box. And then afterwards, I will also get the names for those who participated in answering the survey forms that will be sending by Mr. Virgo for all of us.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rodland. Mr. Julius.
Good morning. I'll be sending specific instructions as well later, especially for my advisees for the nursing students. And I am very glad with the discussion of Ms. Misty. And I just want to end this meeting that nobody's perfect, but please do not practice imperfection. That's all.
All right. So just few announcements. On December 2, please mark your calendar. I have 1 minute. December 2, that will be next week. And December 6, the following week. The next speaker would be Ms. Jennifer C. Palaganas, another employee of Ms. Misty. She will be talking about communication aids and strategies and communication for various purposes on work and academics. So we invite everyone to turn on your camera, and let's have the photo ops for this session. All right, everyone, in the count of three, please smile. 1, 2, 3, go. There you go. Once again, thank you, everyone, and see you in the next session next week and the week after. Goodbye, everyone. Keep safe.
Bye. Bye, bye, bye.
See you in Baguio, Ms Misty.
See you. We'll
Bye,
be
ma'am.
waiting. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you, teachers.